Pydantic AI equips developers with a timeout mechanism that governs how long individual function tools may execute before being treated as failed calls, configurable at both the agent level via tool timeout and on a per-tool basis through the timeout parameter. The framework applies these constraints during tool execution, returning a retry prompt to the model when a timeout threshold is exceeded and counting the failure against the tool's retry budget. The code you are about to see initializes an agent with a 30-second default timeout, then registers two tools, one inheriting that default and the other explicitly overriding it with a 5-second limit, demonstrating the precedence relationship between agent-wide and tool-specific timeout settings.
Import Asyncio. From Pydantic AI Import Agent. Hash set a default timeout for all tools on the agent. Agentist. Tool timeout equals 30. At agent tool plane. Async def slow tool SDR. This tool will use the agent's default timeout 30 seconds. Await Asyncio, sleep 10. Return done. At agent, tool plane timeout equals 5. Async def fast tool SDR. This tool has its own timeout 5 seconds that overrides the agent default. Await Asyncio, sleep 1. Return done.
Agent-level timeout is set via tool timeout equals 30 on the agent constructor, which applies a 30-second ceiling to all tools unless overridden. Per tool timeout is configured through the timeout parameter on at agent tool plane. So, fast tool runs with its own 5-second limit while slow tool inherits the agent default. When a timeout fires, the tool is treated as a failure and a retry prompt goes back to the model, counting against the tool's retry budget. The override pattern lets you keep a safe global ceiling while giving latency-sensitive tools their own stricter bounds. Trade-off is granularity versus maintenance, since each per-tool timeout is an explicit setting that needs tracking, but it avoids the blunt instrument of a single blanket timeout that either catches everything or nothing. Let's break it down line by line.
Import Asyncio.
Imports Asyncio, Python's standard library module for running asynchronous code and managing coroutines.
From Pydantic AI Import Agent.
Imports the agent class from the Pydantic AI framework, making it available for agent construction.
Hash set a default timeout for all tools on the agent. Agentist. Tool timeout equals 30.
Instantiates a Pydantic AI agent named test with a 30-second timeout applied to all its tools.
At agent tool plane. Async def slow tool SDR. This tool will use the agent's default timeout 30 seconds.
Registers an async tool named slow tool on an agent that returns a string without needing agent context and is documented to use the agent's default 30-second timeout.
Await Asyncio, sleep 10.
Pauses the current async coroutine for 10 seconds without blocking other tasks.
Return done.
Returns the string done as the result of the current function.
At agent, tool plane timeout equals 5. Async def fast tool SDR. This tool has its own timeout 5 seconds that overrides the agent default.
Registers an async function named fastTool that returns a string, decorated with @agent. Tool plane timeout equals 5 to attach it as a tool on the agent with a 5-second execution timeout.
Await Asyncio, sleep 1.
Pauses the current async coroutine for 1 second, yielding control back to the event loop during the wait.
Return done.
Returns the string done as the result of the current function. The takeaway here is that timeout control in Pydantic AI follows a clear precedence. Agent-level tool timeout sets the safety net, and per tool timeout overrides it where you need stricter bounds. Slow tool inherits the 30-second default. Fast tool drops to 5 seconds via its decorator argument. When either limit fires, the tool fails, a retry prompt goes back to the model, and the failure counts against the tool's retry budget. The pattern trades a clean global ceiling for the maintenance cost of per tool settings, but that cost buys you the ability to protect latency-sensitive paths without forcing everything into one blunt timeout.
The agent sets tool timeout to 30 seconds, but slow tool sleeps past it.